Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name's Joey. Sean O'Malley has a replacement fight for UFC 264, and he is fighting Kris Moutinho. Now, if you've never heard of this guy, don't worry. I've never heard of him either. And I don't want to focus on that fight too much. There was a clip released on Sean O'Malley's YouTube channel that I thought was very interesting. It was him talking to, I believe it was his manager or somebody, about booking a replacement fight, and there was a line about Dana White and Ricky Simone in there that I thought was particularly interesting. And I'm going to play that clip for you in a minute. But first off, for those who maybe aren't familiar with the situation, originally Sean O'Malley was supposed to fight Louis Smolka on the UFC 264 pay-per-view. It was going to be the pay-per-view opener. And I know exactly why the UFC was so desperate to keep Sean O'Malley on this pay-per-view card. And basically it was because it's a Conor McGregor pay-per-view. It's going to sell a lot, and there's going to be a lot of people watching this card. And for a guy who the UFC clearly sees as a future star in Sean O'Malley, they want to get him in there with a lot of eyeballs on him. Maybe he can get an impressive performance, and popularity can blow up. You know, he's already a very popular fighter. I don't know how. He's unproven at this point in time, but a lot of people already think he's some type of championship caliber. But basically, they didn't want to risk losing this opportunity. If you look back, I contribute a lot of Derek Lewis's popularity to getting that crazy KO over Alexander Volkov on a Conor McGregor card. And the UFC has used this, I don't know what you call it, use this tool to build guys before, where they put young, up-and-coming guys on cards, on pay-per-view cards that they know are going to be huge to kind of build their name up. And this is what they were doing. Originally, the Louis Smolka fight, I wasn't very happy with. I thought, for all the shit Sean O'Malley talks, for all the, fans that really believe in him and think he's like some elite striker and he's some elite bantamweight at this point in time, he's not even in the top 15. But I wanted to see him at least fight somebody in the top 15. He was on a decent streak against trash cans up until he met Marlon Vera, where he got his leg kicked off. Then he got flash KO'd by elbows. And then he was stretchered out of the cage with no injury. So after all that, he talks so much shit. I'm mentally undefeated. I was getting ready to beat his ass. The only person I know who's even come close to taking a loss as bad as Sean O'Malley is Ronda Rousey, back when she lost to Holly Holm and she just disappeared. So this guy, is surrounded by yes men, complained and looked nothing but classless after the Marlon Vera fight. He was trashing Marlon Vera, which is crazy because you're trashing the guy that just beat you. If you guys were fighting to the death, you would have died, dude. And you're complaining that this guy's a bum. It's just, I found it particularly annoying. But anyway, the UFC gave him Louis Smolka. It was a very manageable opponent, a guy who's not ranked, a guy who's been inconsistent throughout his career. But at least he's been in the UFC. He pulled out of the fight, and there was no shortage of fighters that raised their hand and said, I want to fight Sean O'Malley on like 10 days notice it was at the time. But the UFC decided to go another path and sign Kris Moutinho. And this is a guy who's 9-4 out of the UFC. He's unknown, basically. He was finished twice in 2019. Since then, he's on a 2-fight win streak. But to the clip that Sean O'Malley put on his YouTube channel, it was him answering the phone. Matter of fact, let me just show the clip to you right now.
Oh, Lloyd's calling.
Answer it.
Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can edit it if not.
He's now telling me that Simone can't make 35. Where you at, Simon?
Oh, he said he said he can't or he can.
He cannot make 35.
What? I thought he wanted to fight.
Why'd he tweet that?
Because that's what everybody fucking does, and everyone's a bitch.
Yeah.
And then you call them on their bluff, and they go, I just talked to him, and he said he could only take it at 45. And then I said, because of what Tim said, I said, just fucking move Kelleher's opponent and put Kelleher in there.
And what'd he say?
Yeah.
Well, who can make 136?
They said Dana hates that, but they said that was the one Dana wants for weeks, too, was Ricky. They were like, what are they seeing that we're missing? They're like, Ricky's going to just try and hump him.
Yeah, we get knocked out trying to hump me. Fuck.
Well, so who can make 136? Can any of those guys or not?
Yeah,
Ask him.
Fuck. Well, God, I figured he would do that. I don't know why he fucking put his name in there. If he should have said, like Cody Stamen, I can make weight at 145, but all right, I'll let you know in a second.
Okay, you guys talk about.
So there you've seen the clip. Sean O'Malley is basically saying, he was willing to fight Ricky Simone, but at 135. Apparently, Ricky Simone couldn't make 135. He said, I can fight at 145. But it seems like the UFC and Sean O'Malley wasn't really too keen on that. But there were so many guys ready to step in. There was Ricky Simone. There was Tim Elliott. There was Merab Davishvili. There was Brian Kelleher. There were so many guys on the UFC's roster. And they decided to go sign a guy, who is basically unheard of. And they just basically admitted, we're looking to give Sean O'Malley a easy layup win and a amazing performance on a Conor card. But the interesting line in there was, they were basically talking about the different opponents who can make 135, and they said, well, Ricky Simone's Dana's least favorite. Dana says all he's going to do is try to hump you. And Sean O'Malley says, oh, he can try, but I'll knock him out. But it's just so funny that you can tell, just from hearing that. And Dana's probably not too happy that came out. I guess he won't care all that much. It wasn't nothing too crazy. But that goes to show, Dana White, he'll never say it publicly. He wants Sean O'Malley to win badly. If Sean O'Malley can continue winning and even eventually beat some quality guys, which some people believe he can, I think it's possible, but I'm not sold yet. I need more evidence before I can come to that conclusion. But it just goes to show you the UFC is trying to get him some wins against guys who aren't that great so he can kind of look like a world beater before they really start to introduce him to some of these, top 10-esque guys. And again, Sean O'Malley really doesn't deserve a top 10 guy right now, but he at least should be fighting somebody who we know, we can gauge his skills off of. Because for me, and if you follow my channel, you've heard me say before, what I look forward to in fights is getting questions answered. And if Sean O'Malley goes out there and has the most spectacular performance against Kris Moutinho, it doesn't mean anything to me. I can't gauge his skills off a guy who looks like he works at Hot Topic. I just can't do it. A guy that's unknown, hasn't fought any elite fighters in his entire career. I just can't do it. And I want to see him fight, somebody more established. There were so many guys that were just volunteering. And I knew Sean O'Malley wasn't going to take some of those fights. The Merab Davishvili fight, no way he was touching that with a 10-foot pole. And I understand, and I'm not shitting on Sean O'Malley for saying, okay, well, I don't want to fight at 145. I'm a 135-pound fighter, so I can't shit on him too much for that. But it's just hilarious that the UFC is telling the Sean O'Malley camp, I'm not too interested in making this fight. I'd rather, I'm going to go sign this guy who's unheard of, has 4 losses outside of the UFC. 2 of his last 4 were him getting finished, rather than you fight one of these known established guys within the UFC. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of that clip in the comments. I'm very curious. I thought it was interesting enough that I would make a video out of it. Who did you want to see Sean O'Malley fight next? I said this in a previous video. If Sean O'Malley was going to be removed from UFC 264 and rebooked down the line, I wanted to see him against Dominic Cruz. I thought that would be a fun fight. We could actually get a test of Sean O'Malley's skills. But at the end of the day, Kris Moutinho has the biggest opportunity in the world. If he goes out there and somehow pulls off the win against Sean O'Malley, first off, his name is going to blow up. Second off, Sean O'Malley's career is going to be over. I mean, for a guy who talks as much as he does, and then if he loses again, what's he going to say? I'm still mentally undefeated? I don't know. Imagine if somehow Kris Moutinho ends up getting Sean O'Malley stretchered out of the cage again. That would be a brutal loss for Sean O'Malley. I don't foresee that happening. I think Sean O'Malley wins this fight with ease without really knowing the other guy too much. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm very curious. My UFC 264 prediction videos will be coming out in the next couple days. So make sure you're subscribed and make sure you have notifications on so you can see as soon as I post those prediction videos. I can't wait. Gilbert Burns versus Wonderboy Thompson. Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier 3. I can't wait for those fights. Make sure to like the video, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.